Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the NBA next season and a bit of a kind of prediction video. This isn't a full prediction video. I will be doing one of them closer to the time of the NBA starting. So today I just wanted to talk about title contenders. Now for this, I've got 3 teams from each conference to try and even it out. The Eastern Conference is a bit weaker than the West, but we're going to go with it, and let's just have a bit of fun talking about the NBA and the possible winners of the NBA title next season. Now, before we start, I'm just going to name the quick teams that we're going to be talking about. So we're going to be talking about the Clippers, we're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors, we're going to be talking about the Suns, we're going to be talking about the Bucks, we're going to be talking about the Boston Celtics, and we're going to be talking about the Miami Heat. First, we're going to talk about the Miami Heat because this is the most unlikely team for me to win the whole thing, but I kind of had to put them in, especially when you get the top seed in the East last season. I feel like you've still got a great team and a chance of contending for the title next season. The only issue I have with the Miami Heat is aging players. So in this situation, you've got the aging players of Jimmy Butler, you've got Kyle Lowry who's aging, you've obviously got Bam who is a superstar. He needs to perform better in those games, in those playoff games against the Celtics especially. He had like 2 good games, but other than that, he was pretty anonymous. He seems to just wilt in those big games, which isn't a great thing for a superstar kind of level player. But if he sorts it out, that would be a good start. Obviously, you've got all the undrafted players who play for the Miami Heat, which are good. Some of them may struggle next season, but you've obviously lost PJ Tucker, who was a major part of that playoff run last time, guarding Jason Tatum in those games, who really put a stop to Jason Tatum and really showed his defensive skills there, which I was very impressed with. He was very annoying, but very impressive at the same time, and it's a bit of a shame that they've lost him to Philly, who I don't think are going to challenge next season. But I had to put Miami at the bottom of this 6th list because it's just hard to see, is the team going to get any better? You've got Tyler Herro, who's good. You've got obviously Bam, who's really good. It just seems like I'm not sure how much better this team can get, and they already lost to the Celtics. And the Celtics are here as well, and you've got better teams in the West, even better teams in the East, in my opinion. If they would have even came up against the Bucks, I think they would have lost as well. So it's a bit hard to say. I do feel bad for them. I do think they'll get possibly to the 2nd round again at the playoffs. I don't think they'll get conference finals this time. I feel bad for them because they've made a really good team. I just don't see how the Miami Heat can get any better than they were last year. And that's just an opinion. I may be completely wrong. They may go on and win the East again next season and then go to the NBA Finals. You never know, but in my opinion, it's the lowest of all of these. And then next, I also wanted to talk about the Clippers. Now, this is one of the biggest jumps that I've seen recently. Going from the 9th seed to me obviously saying that they could be a title contender. And the odds kind of show that as well, they're quite high in the odds to win the championship as well. But the signing of John Wall is a great signing for basically nothing. Who, like John Wall actually said in a quote, a team's 3rd best defender is going to have to guard John Wall. And even though John Wall isn't in his prime anymore, that's still a scary thought, right? You wouldn't want to play that team in a playoff series. It's just the fact of, can Kawhi and Paul George stay fit? That's why they were the 9th seed last time, because they just couldn't stay fit. It's a shame, but if all 3 of those main stars can stay fit, this team has a chance, a proper chance. But the reason I put them 5th on this list, mainly because I don't see them all staying fit. I see Kawhi not playing as much as he should. I see John Wall maybe getting injured a bit because he didn't really play last season either. He might not be in the right frame of mind, or he might come back to the team and be even better than he was last season. Like Al Horford did, having that season off to work on your game and be as good as you can be might be a good thing for him. It also could be a detriment. It's a really unknown quantity at this point, and we'll need to see the first few games of the season, how they perform as a team together and how healthy the team is as a whole, and whether the management of the team can be done where the players are not getting injured as frequently as they have done previously, where the team has had to be a playing team. They shouldn't really be a playing team with the stars they have. These are major title contenders for next season. They do have a chance, and a lot of people might say they don't have a chance. They've got a big 3, and that big 3 is enough to win the championship. I promise you, it's got a chance. It's got a chance, definitely. Moving on to my next one is the Phoenix Suns. Now, this is under the assumption that KD doesn't go to Phoenix, because that would make them, in my opinion, the favourites to win it all. I just don't know how Chris Paul is going to be next season. Obviously, he's 38, 39 next season. It's hard to say whether he'll be as good as last season as an aging star. Devin Booker needs to improve. Deandre Ayton has just signed that new contract, which I was so confused when he did. That situation confused me. The Pacers signed him on a max deal, which the Suns could have done ages ago, and then the Suns just matched it. So I don't know whether they're going to try and trade him for KD or what they're going to do, but it was a weird trade, which I thought, because I made a shorts on he's going to the Pacers, and then he didn't. He just had to go back to the Suns, so I was very confused. But it's an interesting team, but if they get KD, it's a bit wraps for the rest of the league. But right now, I think the team is like a bottle job team, really, in my opinion. They can't get all the way, and I don't know if that's the thing with Chris Paul not performing in those situations as well as he could do, Devin Booker not living up to what he should as well. But they've got a chance, and they're fourth on the kind of contenders league for me. Moving on to the third, this pains me to say, but the Celtics are in the third position. I want us to be title favourites, and with Malcolm Brogdon, we've always got a chance, and we've got a true point guard where we can play in different ways and hopefully manage out those situations that we lost in last season better. So, for example, closing out games was quite an issue for the Celtics. Those crunch time kind of moments were a bit hard for the Celtics to manage. Being as smart, it didn't seem like he kind of managed situations well at all, really. And that may be me looking from like watching every game. It seemed always a bit rushed, a bit of isolation ball going in last couple of periods. So it's. I just hope that this team can win it. Like, that would be a dream for me if they can win it. And to be even contending for it is an amazing feat. And I think we'll come first or second in the East, just below the next team, which I'm going to talk about. But the Celtics have a great chance as long as Rob can stay healthy. Al is performing at the level he was last season. Grant improves. Pritch improves, which I hope he does. Malcolm there now, if he can be on the top of his game. Obviously, JB and JT, two of the best players in the league for me, two of my favourites. And then you've even got Marcus Smart as well, who I love with all my heart, how much he plays for the team and the logo that he wears. He's one of my favourite players at the Celtics, and I hope he doesn't get traded. I really love Marcus, and please don't leave, Marcus. I really need you there. You make everything fun, and you make us feel like a family, man. And that's how it makes us feel. We've been there for so long, and that's what I love about basketball players. Some of them stay there for so long that they're kind of part of... When I think of the Celtics, I think of like Marcus Smart. That's like one of the first players I think of because he's been there for so long. And I really appreciate him. But anyway, enough of me going on about the Celtics. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, who I have put at second on this list. Mainly because they've got Giannis, and Chris Middleton will be back. Drew Holiday is obviously amazing. I don't like a lot of their team. They annoy me quite a lot, but you can't doubt this team. I do think the playoff run against the Celtics would have been a bit different if Chris Middleton was there, obviously. And that would have changed it significantly. Obviously, Chris Middleton was kind of the difference maker for the last time they played as well. I think it's quite hard to see them winning the Eastern Conference. I actually think that the Celtics will win the Eastern Conference because a lot of times the Bucks struggle a bit in the regular season, but when it comes to playoff time, Giannis is a beast. He's one of the greatest of all time, and I can't, like, even though we've got amazing players in the Celtics, I can't say that they're not going to win. Like, I can't do it because you can't doubt them. You know, you cannot doubt Giannis ever. It's like you can't doubt Steph. People started doubting Steph, saying, oh, will he be able to be that finals MVP that people wanted? And now we're going to talk about the Warriors. The Warriors scare me to death because they've got some of the best young players in the league, but then they've also got the aging stars, which can still understand how to win. You've got Draymond, you've got Clay, you've got Steph, and then you've even got Andrew Wiggins, who is coming into his prime. Then you've got Jordan Poole coming off the bench. You've got Kuminga, who will hopefully play a bigger role. You've got Wiseman as well, who hopefully will come back and perform at a good level because he seems like a great guy and I hope he plays at a good level. Then you've got Moses Moody, who is really good as well. Like, all of their young players, along with their best players that they have, it's scary to see how good they are. And these players like Kuminga and Wiseman and Moody are only going to get better, and Jordan Poole are only going to get better. And that's the scary thing. Even when you do try and phase like Clay out and like Draymond out and Steph out, obviously they're not going to be compared to Steph. Steph is one of a kind. He's a generational player. But you can add these players in to make them a title contender, and it's scary. Even if Steph gets injured, even if Clay gets injured now, for a short period of time, these players can come in and perform for them. The Warriors might do it again, you know. It's the Warriors or the Bucks for me. The Celtics have an outside chance, but it's the Warriors or the Bucks. I reckon that'll be the NBA Finals, Warriors versus Bucks. Like, believe me, that'll be a massive final. Imagine Steph versus Giannis. Like, that's the final that we need. The final I want is obviously the Celtics versus anyone in the NBA Finals again. I want us to be back there. But can we beat Giannis when they've got Chris Middleton and all their players playing a lot better than they did in that last series? It's hard to say. Will the Celtics defense stay as strong as it did last season, one of the best in NBA history? Will all of the Clippers team click together and form the best team in the NBA? We really don't know at this point. This video was just a bit of fun, and I'm just having some fun talking about basketball. Not much has really happened in basketball other than the Summer League, which I am watching, just not as much as I probably should. I got a bit bored with it, I'm going to be honest with you. The Celtics are out of it now, so I'm a bit bored. I would really appreciate a like, and if you could subscribe to the channel, I'd also really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching.